they have to land on the target, and the astronaut has to stay in the basket. And you'll be surprised, some of them do, and some of them just barely roll out to the.
You put an egg in it?
Yeah, well actually we chose to use golf balls. The golf ball was a little bit safer for us. We only have one egg experiment, it's coming up a little bit later. But that one, the golf ball worked just as good, it hits, and sometimes it sticks, and sometimes it flops and rolls. And this was just some for the math, we had to update to let them do math. We have calculations, and this is just some of the ideas of what they calculate. How much do you weigh on Earth? And then the teacher goes through the weights on all the different planets, what their gravity measurement is, and they calculate that. They go through different measurements of length and distance and graphing it. And then for art, we don't really have a good display, but she went through some of the different planets, and the idea was to make a patch. And we have Mr. Gagnon, he designed some of the crew patches for the shuttle program. He taught a whole section on patch design. And then they went off, did their moon mission, and made the patch for their mission. And that kind of sets the pace. And then for, we have a robotics that we kind of like to talk about. We start off with, and that's what I may have been talking here, was the Mars rover. We have a model of the rover. Then we built one. There's two of them. They sit on LPS consoles. We have the computer come up with the OTV for the security system of the museum. From the cameras and the screen, they have to drive the rover through the museum. Like they're in JPL and Mars, and the rover's on Mars.
Sure.
And they love that part. But we also go through all the different facts of the rover. We talk about some of the basics, antennas and the diggers and tires. And then obviously we always start off with spin-offs. And we do different, race car suits, the driver suits, the heart pump from the valve of the shuttle. And we just have different station spin-offs that we just generally talk about with them. And then we use the shuttle to tell them some of the parts of where they came. And then this is the one that uses the real egg coming down here. This is the heat shield abatement. They have to design their own heat shields. And we go through some of the different types where the Mercury and the Gemini, where the carbon would burn off, and that's why the heat was lost. We talk about the shuttle tile, and then they have to build their own heat abatement shield. And the test is, we go out in the back, we fire up the torch, we put their sample in the cylinder, and behind it is a real egg. And we torch it for 3 minutes, and if it makes it through it, and the egg doesn't burn, they got to crack it open when they're done. Cooked egg, well, got hot. Raw eggs, you pass.
Did it succeed?
Oh yes, the worst we ever got was a little bit of stringy, but the one that really worked the best had macaroni in it. It had lasagna sheets. Don't ask, but and another one, we have Launch Complex 36 in the back of the museum. It's the actual consoles from Blockhouse 36, and what we do is we have a procedure where the children go by and we turn everything off, and we get on the microphone and we have that piano A2 power switched on, and the rack comes up. The next child, every child puts 2 or 3 switches, bringing up the racks, and at the very end, when the last child has the switch up, they all give a go, and then the movie hits, and we launch Atlas 167 in the back of the room off the television, and they hear the rumble and the thunder and the boom, and they love it. They just get excited.
So how long do you have?
We usually have one class every other month, and we do one for S, one for T, one for E, a new one for A, and then M. So it's 5 classes. And
Like an hour each?
Oh no, they come in at noontime and they leave at 4:30.
I haven't been to the museum since you guys moved into the new
Oh,
facility.
you need to come. You
Yeah.
need to come. You will be amazed. We have in the back room. You've probably already seen the Launch Complex 36, the green rack.
Yeah.
Those are there, and before that we have C7. We have the C7 console from Fire Room 3, and we have the STM/TVC console in front of it, and then you've seen some of the models. Here is the site control stand in the ONC building. That was the model there. And we also have a Mercury room in Gemini Mission Control. We have a Lee Sterick, he's from the KSC Fire Department. And you may remember him, he was part of the astronaut rescue team. We have his little personal collection of fire protection international. And then we have a huge Apollo area where we go to shuttle, and then Complex 39 for unmanned. It's amazing. You need to come. You will be amazed.
I don't think